summer steam. My love in the vigil keeping all through the night. This is a Welsh song, a song from Wales. Wales in the western part of England, or the southwestern part of England, just above Cornwall, and with its own music. Another great song from Wales. Goes down and straight up. Another great one. Goes up. These are all important songs, and they're from Wales. And sleep, my child, and peace, and back down. And then Men of Harrow. Men of Harrow. And another that we mentioned before. These songs are used sometimes by colleges as the tune, not the song, not the words. The words belong to Wales and to the Welsh people who originated these tunes. Nor do we know, or these songs, this music, nor do we know who, we don't know anything about a composer or anything like that. These are folk songs. They are traditional to Wales, just as the songs we cited before for Scotland when we did Annie Laurie and Loch Lomond. By yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, or flow, flow gently sweet after, songs from Scotland. Very important, Annie Laurie. Maxwelton's praise our bonny. Songs that we did before, those from Scotland. And we did some songs from England. And we did some poetry, or talked about the poets of England, writing in the English language. I don't think I mentioned an ancient poem in English, but we say it's in Anglo-Saxon because if you try to read this poem, you can't. A few words we can recognize. Anglo-Saxon is the language brought by the Angles and the Saxons when they invaded England in, the 5th century A.D. It is this language which is the foundation of English. But we have poets in English. We mentioned the 3 big epic poets, Chaucer, Milton, Shakespeare. And the lyric poets of the early 19th century, born late in the 18th century. Byron born, a year before the French Revolution. Wordsworth even before that, Keats a little later. But that's who we were talking about. The 19th century poets in English, in England. In the United States, we had some fine poets, and of course they wrote in English. But the really big guns, Byron, Keats, Shelley, Wordsworth, Coleridge, Browning, and Tennyson, and Yeats, although Yeats is an Irishman. I put out a little mnemonic for remembering these. Be kind so we can bring you toys. Be kind so, Byron, Keats, Shelley, we can, Wordsworth, Coleridge, bring you toys. Browning, Yeats, Tennyson, not in the order of their appearance, but probably the most important is Byron and then Keats. And Byron wrote, and look for these and take a look, The Prisoner of Shalon, wonderful poem about a man in a prison who finally regains his freedom. Childe Harold is by Byron, and Don Juan is by Byron. And you'll say, Don Juan? There's no such thing as Juan, that's Don Juan. Well, yes, it is Don Juan. J-U-A-N is the Spanish word for John. J-O-H-N in English, we have an English name for a man. And in Spanish it's Juan, J-U-A-N. But for Byron, it's Juan. And we know that. And that's the only time. That's the only time it's Don Juan, but it is for that. And this is a great poem, possibly the greatest poem of the 19th century. In the first canto, I want a hero, an uncommon want, when every year and month sends forth a new one. Till, after cloying the gazettes with cant, the age discovers he is not the true one. You see what's coming up. Of such as these I should not care to vaunt. I'll therefore take our ancient friend, Don Juan. So that's how we know. That's the way we have to pronounce it. We all have seen him in the pantomime, sent to the devil, somewhat ere his time. And this refers to other stories about Don Juan, including perhaps the most famous Mozart's opera, Don Giovanni, Italian for Don Juan.